The NBA is a multi-billion-dollar business, and many basketball players come from all over the world to get drafted into this blessed league. Now, the country that basketball is most popular in is the USA, and rightfully so. The best NBA players to ever take the court are mostly from the United States, but there are countries besides the US who have given us supreme talents. So in today's video, we'll talk about the best NBA player from every country. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's see, what country should we start off with? Ben Simmons is relevant nowadays, so we'll start off with Australia. The best player from Australia, without a doubt, is Ben Simmons. Hold up, that sounded weird. It's Kyrie Irving. Ben Simmons is a close one though. Nobody can pass up open dunks like him, and he's one of the most least confident players out there. His jump shot can annoy you till you die, and his mentality is best among the worst. But jokes aside, Kyrie is easily the best player from Australia. Irving is a 7-time All-Star and 3-time All-NBA selection. He's won one championship with the Cavs in 2016 and looked to do so this year with the Nets, but the Nets lost in Game 7 to the Bucks since he was injured. This season was arguably Irving's best season, according to the stats, where he averaged 27 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds while shooting 50-40-90 splits. Moving on to France. So the best player from the country of France is Rudy Gobert. If you go up for a shot against him, you will be blocked. He just won his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award this season and also was part of a legendary Jazz team who broke multiple 3-point records, although he had nothing to do with them. He stands in the paint on offense and stands in the paint on defense. This season, Gobert averaged 14 points and 13.5 rebounds and led the league in effective field goal percentage. The best achievement from him, in my opinion, is probably that he was the first NBA player to get the virus, the pandemic thing that haunted us for the past year. Yeah, he was the first NBA player to get the virus. And he successfully managed to pass the virus onto his teammate Donovan Mitchell and some staff members by behaving very maturely. Germany. The best player from Germany would have gone to Dirk Nowitzki if this video was made 3 years ago. But as of now, we're in 2020, and this spot goes to Dennis Schroeder. Last season, he was a runner-up for 6th Man of the Year, and this season, in my opinion, he's a runner-up for Most Disappointing Player of the Year, if there was an award like that. He did his best for the Lakers to lose this year, and he was successful. The Lakers barely made the playoffs, but they lost in the first round. To be fair though, he played decent this year, but the main reason why he takes the spot is because there aren't any good players from Germany, so I had to go with him. Next country, Greece. This one was really easy, and it's gonna be Giannis and his last name. I just don't want to say it because, I don't want to mess up. Giannis was the back-to-back MVP last year and a top 5 candidate this year. Greece is a country that hasn't produced many NBA players, but all the current NBA players from Greece have the same last name as Giannis. If you still don't understand, it's his brothers Kostas and Thanasis. Latvia, Kristaps Porzingis. Similar to Dennis Schroeder, Kristaps did his best to make the Dallas Mavericks lose in the playoffs this year, and he too was successful. Kristaps is also probably the only reason why you've heard of Latvia, because besides him, there isn't much going on in that country. Everything is chill up there. Next up, we have Canada. This one is a close one between 4 players: Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Andrew Wiggins, and RJ Barrett. But first, let's eliminate RJ Barrett since it's only his 2nd season and he isn't as good as these players. Andrew Wiggins had a really good revival year for his career, but let's face it, he's not good enough. Jamal Murray might be the player who you think is taking the spot, but you're incorrect. While Murray might be the most skilled scorer between him and Shai is the better overall player. Before he got injured, Gilgeous-Alexander was averaging 24 points and 6 assists. That's about 3 more points than Jamal Murray and 1 more assist than him as well. To go along with that, he was more efficient than Murray as well, averaging 50-40-80 splits from the field, from the 3, and from the free throw line. Japan. We have Rui Hachimura. This is his 2nd season in the NBA, and he's already the best from Japan in NBA history. That's because he's one of 2 current NBA players from Japan, while the other one is Yuta Watanabe. And Yuta Watanabe isn't as good as Rui Hachimura, so we did not go with Yuta Watanabe. Yes, I'll admit it, I love saying Yuta Watanabe's name so much because it's fun to say it. Trust me, you guys try it out. Yuta Watanabe. It looks and sounds like You Don't Wanna Be Me. You hear it? Yuta Watanabe, You Don't Wanna Be Me? Now we have the country of Cameroon, and the best player from Cameroon is Joel Embiid. Moving on.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, sorry, I gotta give you some stats, right? Well, he's averaging 28 points, and 10 assists. That's a double-double. 10 assists. Excuse me, I retake what I just said. He's averaging 28 points and 10 rebounds. He finished second in MVP voting this year. He carried his team to the playoffs as the 1 seed with a healthy Ben Simmons. Yeah, a healthy Ben Simmons is worse than no Ben Simmons. Seriously, the Sixers play better without Simmons. And he's arguably the best center in the NBA. Serbia. This one was easy, and we're going to go with Nikola Jokic, the other dude who's arguably the best center in the NBA. While Embiid finished second in MVP voting this year, Jokic finished first. Embiid averaged double-double. Jokic did too, with nearly 26 points and 11 boards. Who's the better player? You would decide, and let me know in the comments down below. Lithuania. You might think this is easily going to Domantas Sabonis, but no. The best player from Lithuania is Jonas Valanciunas. Sabonis is averaging a bit more points and assists, but Jonas is doing everything else better. He grabs more rebounds, he's way more efficient, and his win shares and PER are much higher than Sabonis. He also made the playoffs this year, and Sabonis did not. Jokic was a scoring threat this year from the paint and from deep as well. For some reason though, he's very underrated. New Zealand. Aquaman. Sorry, Steven Adams. You see the similarities though? Bahamas. DeAndre Ayton. Dominican Republic. This one is super easy and goes to Karl Anthony Towns. Spain. Serge Ibaka. There aren't many great players from Spain currently in the NBA, but some notable players are Marc Gasol and Ricky Rubio. Democratic Republic of Congo. Bismack Biyombo. That rhymes. Finland. Lauri Markkanen. And the reason? Well, he's the only one from the country. Bosnia. Bojan Bogdanovic. 17 points this season per game, and he's a 3-point sniper. The honorable mentions are Jusuf Nurkic and Ivica Zubac, both centers. Italy, I'm going to go with Reggie Jackson because this season in the playoffs he's been absolutely killing it, and the Clippers might make the NBA Finals for the first time. The runner-up was Danilo Gallinari, who's now old. Slovenia, easy, and this goes to Luka Doncic, already one of the best players in the NBA, let alone Slovenia. Switzerland, Clint Capella. I mentioned him in my last video on Trae Young and the Hawks, and quickly what I said about him was that he's a terrific shot blocker and a huge piece for the Hawks to make a finals run. If you haven't already, check out my Hawks video, the link is in the description and pinned comment. Moving on to the United Kingdom. Agwagwa Anunoby. You can say OG Anunoby for sure, but Agwagwa sounds more fun. And finally, the country we've all been waiting for. India. Just kidding, chill guys. The United States of America. Here we have many NBA players. By many, I mean many, more than 300. And there's others in the G League, but we don't take them into account. So the best player from the USA is gonna be Steph Curry. I didn't choose LeBron because he showed signs of regression this year and his stats weren't like the LeBron we knew, especially in the playoffs. I didn't go with Kevin Durant since he's not as prolific of a shooter and scorer as Steph Curry is. You can say KD was in the playoffs, but Curry wasn't. But KD had Kyrie Irving and James Harden by his side. Steph Curry had arguably the best season of his career, and he won yet another scoring title while being triple-teamed on almost every possession. The spot is really debatable, but it's Steph Curry in my opinion, and you might say I'm being biased, but I'm just saying the truth. The level at which he scores while being triple-teamed on like every possession, the level at which he impacts winning, how he moves without the ball and is always running around the court, his gravity where he attracts more than one defender which leaves other players on the team open. He literally was one game away from making the playoffs this season. Also, remember that without the new play-in tournament, the Warriors would have been in the playoffs since they were the 8th seed. I gotta give huge props to KD, man. He just came off an Achilles tear, but is still playing basketball possibly better than he did before the injury. That's just special, and you don't see that often. But that wraps it up for today's video, guys. I had to do a lot of research for this one, and this was an idea suggested to me by a loyal subscriber of mine, LRKIE Sucks. So thank him for the idea. Thanks for watching this one, guys. It was a fun one, and I hope you had fun as well. If you did, then like the video, and subscribe to the channel because my goal is to reach 200 subscribers by the end of July. We got a bit more than 1 month to reach that goal. Let's get it. Peace.